Movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1.
Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Screen Junkies Movie Fights, powered by the Popcorn Talk Network. Now your host, Andy Signore.
Greetings, Screen Junkies! Welcome once again to another episode of Movie Fights. Before we start, I need to thank Dan Murrell for stepping in for me last week. I was in Cancun, guys. It was pretty awesome. Yeah. But I did watch. You guys held it up great. Thank you. Let's get right to this, man. There's so much news this week. To tease up what we've got coming, Hunger Games is up, and so we're going to talk about which superhero would win the Hunger Games. Yes, it's kind of a silly question, but it's going to be an awesome fight. Also,
it's not silly.
Schwarzenegger sequels. There's talk of him making more. What one would we actually really want to see? The new X-Men casting. Do we care about it? And also the CGI Peanuts movie. Is that good? Do we think it's blasphemy? So lots of fun stuff. Stick around. As always, if you don't like a fight, you can always click the bottom right corner to pick your fight and zoom to another fight. So please don't leave if you're bored. There's plenty more you can watch. So let's get right to this. You always guys say you never tease the honest trailer. I'm going to give you a tip. The last fight is always a tease to our honest trailer. Yep. So stay tuned for the last fight and we will tell you a tease and it'll be related to the honest trailer.
It's like a riddle.
So all that said, awesome. I'm so excited. Let's meet our fighters. First up, he is the head writer of Honest Trailers and Honest Game Trailers, and he wrote an episode of a Tyler Perry show.
Wow, calling me out. It's true, yeah.
It's Spencer Gilbert.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
You should be proud of that.
Yeah, I'm super proud. I also play the character Adnan on Serial.
Oh, cool.
Did you do it?
You have to watch and find out.
Next to him, he was such a fan. I mean, he became the fans were going crazy for him last episode he was in. We had to bring him back. You are really Nick Mundy's, I think, mortal enemy now. Yeah. But it's Roger Barr from I-Mockery and Bobo's Big Adventure. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you, and thanks for everyone asking me back. And I'm looking forward to murdering Nick in the future. I'm calling him out right now. He's scared. He didn't show up today. You're here in his place. So, yeah.
Are you going to keep the energy up, I hope?
Oh, you know I will.
Good. It better. Otherwise, you're not coming
Whisper
back.
Fast and the Furious in his ear and watch it happen.
Fast and the Furious is the worst movie ever.
Next,
The Rock is a hack.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, no.
That's right.
Okay.
You don't want his tag team partner.
Too early. Next to him, I'm so glad to have our first Schmo debut on the show. Yay. It's the cute one, as Hal calls him.
Thank you.
I'm partial to Christian, no offense. But it's the wonderful Mark Ellis. Mark, thanks for being here.
Thank you guys for having me. I've been watching a lot of Nick Mundy game footage, so I feel like I can bring something of his spirit to the show today.
I hope so. You better. You're in the Mundy seat, so...
I actually feel angrier sitting in the corner like this. I don't know if it's the seat is just possessed, if this is like a Conjuring situation where it's Annabelle's floated into me, and now I'm just going to be Nick.
Let the hate flow
Let's
through
hope.
you.
Yeah. And before we start, I do have to introduce our new reoccurring feature. It's the Dan Cam. If we cut to Dan Murrell, hey! He's been such a hit that we are continuing the fact-checking of Mr. Dan Murrell. Hashtag Dan Cam. Please go. Let's make it trending.
Yes.
Thanks, Dan. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's back to be, it's good to be back over here on this thing I've only ever done one other time.
I think we're calling you...
feels like it's always been.
It just feels right.
But a lot less pressure on this side.
Yeah.
It's kind of nerve-wracking to see Dan sit there because he's got his laptop and he's almost like he's got his hands like an old gunslinger. He's just ready to fact-check and call somebody out on their crap.
That's what he's here for. So, again, for those who haven't seen the show before, we're here to debate movie nerdy topics. I'm going to be the judge. I'm going to try and be as impartial as I can. I'm going to base it on creativity, passion, and just overall just awesomeness. And if there's anything that goes wrong that even I miss, we've got Dan and the Dan Cam ready to pounce.
I think we should call it the Damn Cam.
The
Damn Cam.
Damn Cam. You may feel that way if he calls you out.
Hashtag Damn Cam.
Awesome. So don't forget, we're also on iTunes. If you're listening out there, please subscribe. And I got to thank Popcorn Talk Network for being here. Mm-hmm. But let's get right to the battles. And in the great words of Ken Watanabe,
let them fight.
Never gets old. Round one.
Not yet.
Kind of anticlimactic.
Hunger Games Mockingjay opens this weekend. Big news, obviously. This is the third movie in the franchise, and the previous two have been huge hits. It just opens up the fight of number one. Does the Hunger Games suck? Is it a great franchise? Is it overrated? Is it underrated? Let's just really get to it. I want to get each of your feelings. Do we love this franchise? Do we not? Spencer, what do you think?
I don't think it sucks. I mean, it's pretty good as far as young adult entertainment goes, and we have to remember this is aimed at little girls. So the fact that we can get any enjoyment out of it at all is a bonus. I mean, when you think back to the 90s and the early 2000s, what people in that demographic were watching, it was like, She's All That,
Twilight.
Well, yeah, Twilight was earlier, but even earlier than that, like Can't Hardly Wait, and these like weird tweeny bopper rom-coms is what that demo would be into. So my future daughter, I would much rather show her like a children killing each other, revolutionary genocidal dystopia than more High School Musical.
Roger.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad of a series or anything like that. I don't think they need to extend this last one into 2 separate films. It's not the most original thing. I mean, Battle Royale, of course. But they're fun movies. They're not that bad to go see. It's got a great casting. You got Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks. I think Katniss is a fun character to follow along, like through her struggles and all, and just see how everyone is going to kill each other essentially. But they're good movies. They're not like great. I don't think they deserve to be as celebrated as they are or anything. But yeah, I'd certainly rather kids be watching that than Twilight or something.
This is becoming a heated battle. Mark, come on, please say that. What do you think?
I'm going to say The Hunger Games also does not suck. Suck is such a strong word to use. Yeah. I mean, Twilight sucks, okay? But The Hunger Games are very watchable. They're well-made movies, and the acting's pretty good in them. The way that they tell the story, especially in this last one, if you haven't seen it yet, is it $140 or $150 million opening weekend good? Nothing is that good. Nothing in life is worth $150 million over 3 days. But The Hunger Games is entertaining to watch, and I know that they're marketed towards the teeny bopper demographic, but like cartoons are aimed for little kids. Toy Story is aimed for little kids, but adults can go and enjoy that too. I think adults can like The Hunger Games too.
All right, I got to bring in a new feature. I want to see if anybody's willing, but last week we had a terrible prop. This week we have a much better prop. It's the Devil's Advocate DVD.
Oh, wow.
Partnered with the Insomnia
edition,
DVD for just added value. But this is our new feature, Devil's Advocate. If you would like to vote, change your side and vote against The Hunger Games, you will win double points this round. Would anyone like to say The Hunger Games sucks?
Oh, I'll pounce on double points. Oh, yeah.
So Spencer, playing Devil's Advocate, does The Hunger Games suck?
Okay. I mean, I wrote the honest trailer. I can just rehash some of that, first of all. But really, when you brought up they're well-made movies, we're forgetting the first one. That looked like a student film, like someone was running around West Virginia with a GoPro on their helmet. Like, it was the shakiest. It looked so bad compared to the other two. So I got that going for it. Katniss is not a good role model. I don't know where that came from, that girls should be like Katniss. I don't throw the word...
She stands up for herself. She's not doing what she's told and all that.
She does one thing in the entire movie, which is volunteer for her little sister. Then after that, she's just being manipulated and carried through the games, and she's so reactive to everything that happens. Like, all the guys do all the saving and all the killing for her, and she's just kind of like, oh, PETA,
well, these are some
PETA.
fighting words.
She's done some killing. What are you talking
But
about?
she also
Come on
becomes
now.
a symbol for something greater, and she's a reluctant hero, and it teaches kids that, look, sometimes you're going to be in a situation where you may not want to have to stand up for something, but you have no choice. And as this rebellion gets further into it, it's either that or the Capitol, and do you side with President Snow or do you side with the Mockingjay? She's a symbol. It's kind of like Batman. It's not as good as Batman, but it's Batman where you can be a symbol is greater than the person.
Has anyone here seen the new one?
Yes.
Yes,
No.
okay. I haven't seen the new one. Can someone just clarify? Does she spend the movie looking for PETA instead of saving the country?
100%. She's walking around the charred remains
Spoiler
of
alert.
District
Spoiler.
12, and she's still like, but where's PETA?
Really?
But after all, like, where's my boyfriend?
Okay, look, in her defense, PETA's really short, and he's really hard to spot. So it's like, he's not the easiest guy. Like, if you're looking for Liam Hemsworth, yeah, he's tall, he's right there. PETA could be under some rubble.
I know it's splitting hairs,
I
but it is so hung up. They put the romance so front and center on this dystopian thing where there's such bigger issues at play. There is this rebellion, there is genocide going on, and it's so focused on, oh, Gale or PETA, oh, I don't know, they're both so hunky.
Have you seen the dystopian future? There's nothing else but sex to do in there. It's like, I'll either go shoot a deer with an arrow, or I can get laid. Like, that's all you have to do. There's
You're
no
forgetting
arcade.
all the good fashion that exists in this dystopian future.
Yeah, and you can watch the
let's
Hunger
not
Games
forget
on your
that.
flat screen hologram TV, but you can't, get food.
Yeah, I mean, until I can twirl around 360 and have my dress turn on fire, I'm not going to be satisfied. I want that and a hoverboard.
Yeah, that's another thing, is the world is not really fleshed out. I know it is in the books, but I shouldn't have to do homework to enjoy the movies. They never give you like reasons why it is this way, why these districts have allowed their children to murder each other for 75 years without rising up until, Katniss is.
Well, it's because the middle class went so far away that you just had the haves and the have-nots, and it became such an extreme situation where the only thing that you can do is try to survive or fall in a love triangle.
But then, like, where does the capital get all that money and flying spaceships from? Like, where's the industry?
Spencer, it's so sad how we watch movies now, isn't it?
I can't turn it off.
We're honest everything now.
Listen, I'm playing devil's advocate right here. This is not what I really think. I'm just doing this for the sake of movie fights. I guess that's my case.
Well, look, it's an interesting debate, but
also it's not Battle Royale. That's a huge one.
That's a good point.
Right.
Where I struggle, and I'm trying to be impartial, but and I'd like just to help defend, like, and if she does it again in the new one, that makes me even more mad. But like at the end of Catching Fire, they've just literally destroyed the Hunger Games. She's in on it. They're about to have a rebellion. This society is not proper. Mm-hmm. And her first thing is, "Where's Peeta? How did you lie to me? And where's Peeta?" Like, to me, that's not a strong heroine. Like,
does she kill people in the new one?
In the new one, does she like get a little bit more aggressive?
You know that one scene where you see her shoot an arrow at the ship and it crashes into each other? Mm-hmm. That's the one thing she does.
So, non-devil's advocate person who loves the movies, does she stand up and
She does, because she grows into the Mockingjay symbol, because everybody else needs they need to pinpoint why we are a rebellion and what we're standing up for, and that is what she is. And when she's looking for Peeta, it's not just her looking for Peeta, it's her, after doing all these things that she didn't want to do, looking for some sort of humanity left within herself, and that is represented by 4'1" travel-sized Peeta.
And he's a little Peeta pocket.
But she's also kind of
why isn't that his nickname yet?
Peeta pocket.
She's also kind of a badass. I mean, I forget which one it was, but she scales up a tree and she's basically caught by all the other kids that want to kill her and stuff, but she doesn't give up. She knocks down this hornet's nest that screws them all up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's a manipulated badass, because she becomes the Mockingjay at everyone pushing her. You need to do this. You need to do this.
That's how great heroes are born in a lot of stories.
She strikes a deal like, okay, I'll do it.
Pushed into a corner.
If you go get Peeta, then I'll think about it.
That's the best kind of hero, though. It's not the guy that walks into the bar and thinks he can kick everybody's ass. It's the one that's hanging out in the corner and doesn't want to fight, but if they have to use her skills. And by the way, she does more than just shoot down a plane. She does it with one arrow, too, which is pretty sweet. And she also saves a really cute cat.
And of course she does.
No.
Yeah, thank you, Blake Snyder.
And remember when she's trying to get like sponsors, she shoots that arrow right into where all the rich people are? I mean, come on. She's
and she leads a revolution. There's other districts that are going to rebel against their captors based on Katniss' symbol, the Mockingjay. So if you want to say the bird is a better hero than Katniss, I can listen to that argument.
She's a prop. Philip Seymour Hoffman and President Coin are pulling all the strings. She's just a mouthpiece.
All right. Well, thank you. You stepped up and you made this more interesting and took that side. I'm sure the fans will hate you for it, but
come at me, tweens.
I think you all made really valid points, but I think on the defending side, Mark swayed me a little bit more. Sorry,
Roger.
Cat.
It's all right.
With the cat and the reluctant hero, and you just had a few more points. You were close with the fashion. That is a very good point. But I also got to give Spencer. I'm not going to give you the both points because you didn't win for the losing, but you made a good point in the beginning of. I just completely lost my train of thought. It was awful. No, you said that it's a good movie that's better than the movies that exist, which I actually value your pro argument more.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you half
that's
that point, which is fair, and I'm going to give you both each a point for that round. So congratulations, Roger. You'll have another shot.
Oh, I'm going to murder you guys now. That's it. That's
Hunger Games, right?
Sorry,
Dan.
I call Hunger Games.
I think Dan has a fact check
any
here.
Fact check?
I just want to clarify. So Spencer gets 1 point and Mark gets 1 point.
Yes.
Okay. And then
I just took his other point.
Roger, the Katniss in the Tree was from the first Hunger Games movie.
Thank you.
And the critics would seem to. There's been a pretty steep decline. First Hunger Games movie, 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. Second, 84%. This one, 68%. So
it's about right. They've gone full Hobbit. It's just splitting too thin of a source material into two movies.
Yeah, I don't think they need
I forgot to say that. Yeah, can you double my points?
You might have got your extra point.
But other than that, a clean round. Good job, guys.
Well, Roger said that, so point for Roger.
All right.
That's right.
Yeah,
We're
it's a
all
tie
tied.
game.
Yes.
So basically that round didn't mean anything.
It's a wash. Good.
All right, round 2. Now this one's fun. Obviously, the only thing bigger than the Hunger Games is what? Superhero movies, right?
Yeah.
So what if we combine the two? Right? Let's go there. Let's do
Infinity
it.
War. Let's do
I'm
it.
listening.
Which major superhero would win the Hunger Games is our question. Now, I got to preface, we do prep a little bit of this in advance because everybody's got to prepare their argument. They don't know what they're fighting. But I'm going to give Roger a point off the gate because he picked the awesomest title, awesomest choice, that we just all realized there's no way he would have been beaten, and that was Dr. Manhattan, which we all were thinking Superman, Hulk, which I think these will come up, but it's just Dr. Manhattan. Just
Like, you can't pick Jesus.
There's just nothing you can do.
I did.
So
I did.
You went there, and I'm not. But I asked you to pick another one on the sake of having a good argument here. But I'm going to give you the point for cleverly outbeating us and picking Dr. Manhattan. So
That's
Roger
the guy who doesn't
already
wear.
gets
That's
another
the
point
huge
on
guy
board.
who doesn't wear pants, right?
Yeah, right.
So nobody wants to see that Hunger Games anyway.
Right.
We don't need to see that thing flopping
But he can
around.
conjure all kryptonite and just send it at him. So
I would actually like to see his big blue wang like killing everyone in the Hunger Games.
Just strangling everyone.
Yeah, there you go.
Katniss trying to climb it to find Peeta.
to be fair,
It's actually the train that they ride in the movie.
Peeta's in the smegma.
whoa. So we're going for another point in this.
Fact check that.
That will not be.
Let's go through. Roger, you pick. So you get the point for Dr. Manhattan.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But let's keep going. Who would you pick aside from Dr. Manhattan?
The Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
And here's why. The Incredible Hulk is the only person who really has this duality. He's Bruce Banner, who is genius, scientist. I mean, he can figure out all kinds of things to do while he's in there, just as Bruce Banner. He's probably smarter than any of the other contestants there. But if you make him mad, like someone tries to attack him, he becomes the Incredible Hulk, who is just an unstoppable machine. And I'm sorry, but I would love to see Katniss shoot an arrow at the Incredible Hulk. Blink! I mean, that's just going to be awesome.
It would be a well-targeted arrow.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's
Mark,
right in
you
his-
cannot miss the Incredible Hulk at all.
Mark,
but
who would you pick?
destroy.
I was really tempted to go with Aquaman because usually the Hunger Games start out on a body of water, and so immediately he could just dive in and hold his breath and let everybody else settle down. But then I thought, you know who else is really good at holding their breath and a lot of other crap is Superman. I mean, it's kind of a hacky answer because he's Superman, and it was almost a Dr. Manhattan thing, but I think Superman is going to take this pretty easily.
Spencer.
Fair enough. I'm picking the ultimate survivor, Wolverine.
Yeah.
So Wolverine has a lot of things going for him. He basically can't be killed. He can regenerate from pretty much anything. To address the Hulk, when Hulk fought Wolverine, Hulk, of course, rips him in two, throws his body 3 miles away. And what does Wolverine do? He uses his torso to climb back to his legs.
He T2s it.
He T2s it all the way back to his lower half.
Unfortunately, Bruce Banner could just create a powerful magnet, and then Wolverine is kind of
Who's going to send him the magnet? Because here's my other point against Superman. Superman's probably going to kick his ass, all things considered, but he'll smell him coming. He can hide. And then the big part of the Hunger Games is appealing to the sponsors, is being entertaining so that they send you the care packages. Wolverine, way more fun to watch than Superman. The people outside are going to send him a kryptonite condom, or not kryptonite condom, kryptonite.
You're still thinking of Dr. Manhattan, aren't you?
That blue dome.
Are you tired of knocking up Lois Lane?
They will send
That's
him
must-see TV.
a kryptonite condom, and he will, Superman right out of those games.
Interesting.
I think Wolverine's going to succeed early on in the Hunger Games because he does have the survivalist mentality and he can burrow down for a while. But the problem with Wolverine is that eventually it's no longer a selfish games. Is that you're no longer fighting for yourself. You're representing your entire district. And Superman has embraced that, whether he's home on planet Krypton or he's embraced his new home of Earth. He's fighting for the people that he's defending.
Yeah, but that's
okay.
not what the Hunger Games want, because he's too powerful. Then,
Well, it's also morally.
No,
to
listen,
Superman
Jack Bauer's
kill.
dad is
Superman will not kill anybody, and that's the whole.
Not according to
that's
Man
the
of
whole
Steel.
thing.
No,
yeah, he'll
Come
snap
on.
everyone's
All right.
neck
Yeah,
before
but
it
look,
starts.
Zod was not a human. We're talking about people, and Superman will not kill people. That
That's
is
true.
one of the things about his
He would
character.
immediately fly away and conquer the evil government.
And you're talking about being entertaining to the sponsors. I'm sorry, but a giant Hulk destroying everything rather than Wolverine with his little
but now
knife
he's
claws.
Bruce Banner
I'm
working
sorry.
on his magnets.
Yeah, but again,
Boring.
he's not just going to be Bruce Banner. He's going to be fighting people, and as soon as that happens, the sponsors are
the
going to
Hulk
go.
will win, and then he'll
go nuts.
He'll kill everyone. Then he'll forget that Wolverine can come back.
First off, this is not a battle between the characters fighting each other.
right.
Let's not forget that.
I guess.
Secondly,
Let's also remember the Hulk.
This is just these superheroes
isn't-
against people, and
No,
that's it.
no. This is
yeah.
they're all in the ring together.
Oh, now they're in the ring together.
ring
All
Get
right.
all these guys in the ring
Okay.
together. Look, the Hulk has a lot of
They're in
special
the ring
abilities.
together.
The problem is that when the Hulk gets hulked out, that takes some time for him to find his bearings, and you can totally distract the huge Hulk. You can, if you light something on fire, the Hulk is going to go run towards that. Then you got a whole back shot. You can fly into
Totally,
it.
you can
claw
flank
it to
him.
death.
You can easily flank the Hulk.
You
Very
can't-
easy.
No, and you can't. You can flank. You can knock him down and stuff. He's just going to get up even more angrier and stronger than before.
Well,
Plus,
same with
so
Wolverine.
guys,
You can
on
kill
top
him,
of it,
he'll come back.
you
He's like a
can't-
horror movie
You
villain.
can't kill the Hulk either.
You
though.
can't kill Wolverine.
Bruce Banner tried killing himself and it didn't work.
So hold on. Let me roll the reins in here. What I'm listing for are things that I can then use to put the story in my head of the most sensical battle that's going to go down. So just keep throwing them out, but I'm just warning you. I'm listening to each of the things that you're saying. Who's ultimately going to win that battle?
I'm saying the Hulk will win. The reason I think Superman, I don't think will win just because he will not kill people. He will not kill people. And the reason Wolverine will not win, yeah, they're equal maybe physically and all, like they both can't be destroyed, but Bruce Banner is way smarter than Wolverine.
And
I'm
can
sorry.
be destroyed. When he's Bruce Banner,
He cannot
there's one
be destroyed.
claw in the
He's
back
tried
of the neck.
killing himself.
I know,
He
then
can't.
the Hulk will come out.
Yeah.
Whatever. The Hulk will kill Wolverine over and over. He'll keep coming back like a horror movie villain. You can't get rid of Wolverine.
And you
He's
can't
like
get
crabs.
rid of
Dan, I need you
Hulk.
to check something for me.
yes,
on
of
canon
course.
of Hulk versus Superman, I believe they did fight.
Hulk versus
So
Superman.
don't tell me yet, but I'd like
Okay.
you to just look it up for us so we can see
I want
what
to
the
change
canon
my
says.
answer to the Punisher. No, I think basically Superman has the ability to wait this out. So whoever else is competing in the games is going to weed each other out. Thus, he doesn't have to kill anybody else until it's down to him versus someone else.
You
And when you're
gotta
locked
play
in
to the
Hunger
audience,
Games-
and the audience is gonna send them kryptonite ASAP to get rid of that boring goody two shoes.
By the time they fly that kryptonite over and it drops down in those little parachutes, Superman's already going to have taken care of everything else and he can fly away from that kryptonite. They're not going to make it rain kryptonite.
they'll find a way.
Wolverine's going to find a way.
Bruce Banner will invent a way. He'll find a way to combine minerals
make
in that
kryptonite.
planet to make kryptonite
He's gonna
and
get-
magnets.
Bruce Banner's going to get too
Magnets
pissed
are
off.
minerals, and there are all kinds of weird ass minerals. I mean, they have those crazy hornets and stuff in the movie. That was not to say he can't make a
Hologram
magnet.
hornets, yeah.
See, I see Bruce Banner in this battle like Jeffrey Wright's character in the Hunger Games, where he's just going to be hanging out, this nerdy scientist by a beach, tinkering with something, trying to communicate.
reverse the force fields,
And then someone shoots an arrow at him, and he kills everyone.
But then he's not
The
going to
end.
be working on anything anymore. He's just going to be
of course,
wrecking
because
crap.
he won.
Yeah, no,
that's not how the
Because
Hunger
he
Games
murdered
work.
everybody.
He's going to break a lot of stuff. I
Yeah.
will give you that.
He
He's
will
going to
break
break a
many
lot
things.
of stuff, and then he's going to ultimately break your heart because Superman is going to defeat Wolverine and Hulk.
You kill Wolverine, he comes right back.
Dan, do we have anything on your end?
Yeah, from my research, it looks like I found a source that says that they fought at least 3 times, and Superman has I guess what could be called a 2-0-1 record. 2 victories, 1.
I think that's the
kind of
Klitschko
no
brothers record as well, right?
So if we're going comics continuity from their team up, Superman has the edge in a
Interesting.
one-on-one fight.
And
There
a
was
really
I
nice
think there
cape.
was
You
one
disagree
thing
with that, Roger?
I think there was a thing where like the fans actually got to vote.
Yes, one
wasn't
of those
it?
was a
Yeah.
fan vote.
It was a fan
contest.
vote thing, and
Questionable.
more fans voted, of course, because more fans know Superman than the Hulk, and they
Yeah,
they voted.
I mean, I'll
they
give you
voted
that.
for him.
It's like when they vote in Derek Jeter into the All-Star game, and it's like, really?
I recognize that name.
Yeah.
But I think that if you go comics, Hulk versus Wolverine, exactly what I said happened. He rips him in half, and he comes back.
Who won? Was there a winner?
It's
in that
a
one?
draw. It's a draw.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. What's your point? I'm saying
Has Wolverine ever fought Superman?
That's not fair. It's not fair without kryptonite.
yeah.
Also,
That's
you know,
what I'm saying.
DC
It's like-
Marvel.
But with kryptonite,
Oh, totally fair. He's done.
so
Supes
I'm
is
going to
done.
play a scenario in my head out, and it might deem the winner, it may not. I feel like Superman and Hulk are going to go first, toe to toe. They're going to have to, and I think Wolverine is going to be the one who waits it out.
He's going to be Katniss
I
in the
think
tree
he's
with
gonna,
the beast.
Exactly, and he can. He's got the survival instincts. Superman's too there's no way Hulk and Superman aren't going toe to toe.
You don't think Bruce Banner's your whole argument was that he's going to be like tinking around for a while
where
and
I'm
stuff.
stuck-
Maybe he's the one hiding
Where I'm
for
stuck
at
is
first.
who wins
He's
versus
smart.
who wins versus Superman and Hulk, and I feel like it is ultimately Superman's probably going to win that one.
Yeah, I think I just picked the right superhero.
just gonna
I mean,
kick
it's
him out of the
it's
universe.
Superman. They created Superman before they created any of these other superheroes
So,
that you guys are talking
I'm
about.
just-
And they're like, let's just give them all the superpowers.
I think it's a
process
wash
of-
because all these superheroes
Hold
are
on.
unkillable.
Hear me
They
through.
all come back.
Hear me through. Process of elimination. I'm going to give it to Superman over Hulk, and then Hulk's out of the picture. Hear me through so far.
But what if Bruce Banner invents magic? Because
He's out.
Superman is
He's
vulnerable
out.
to magic.
Of course, I could be wrong, but I gotta make it. We gotta have someone trying to make sense of this mess. So then it's Superman versus Wolverine, and what I think would have happened is I like what you said. I think the tributes would have given him kryptonite,
Easily.
and I think Superman's wiped out Hulk, and then I think Wolverine pulls a sneaky, shoots him with some arrows, and Superman's down.
Here's the thing,
And
though,
I think
is that-
Wolverine could pull it off.
What if Lex
ruthless.
Luthor was one of the tributes?
That would be fun. Dan,
Yeah.
am I crazy in that breakdown?
Listen,
It's serious business, guys.
I don't say this lightly. This is the nerdiest conversation we've ever had. Listen, that's just as reasonable as any other scenario that you can concoct.
Well, luckily I'm the judge, so I make the call.
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments how wrong I was. Go ahead. But Spencer, I'm going to give it to you. I like the tributes giving him kryptonite, and I think It came down to if he didn't, Hulk probably would have. I don't know. They would have probably just kept going forever, and no one would have.
I think
won.
Superman is so tired of hearing the kryptonite argument. I think that he's going in there with some sort of kryptonite proof, whatever that the tributes can give him. But I love Wolverine's survival instinct winning out. So.
One quick clarification: it's not the tributes that are sending things to him. It's the outside.
What are they called?
Yeah,
the fan favorite
the fans,
Wolverine.
The coaches,
they want to
shower him
with
The tributes are the ones that are.
Well, screw all of you guys. The big blue wang is coming for you.
All right, round three.
Yep.
Round three. This is a fan question from I Love Micheline on YouTube, who asked a wonderful question, I think, actually, in honor of The Hunger Games, which is being part 3. What is the best third installment in a franchise? This is a fun one. I want to get to it. There's so many options that it could be, and we are starting with Mark.
I feel like I took the Superman answer in this one, too. Return of the Jedi. It's the greatest trilogy of all time. It's the perfect close to the greatest trilogy of all time. And it has a happy ending. And I'm tired of people saying Empire's the better movie simply because, it's darker and it doesn't end happy. I like a happy ending, especially when I'm watching a space opera. Return of the Jedi has that great party after they destroy the second Death Star. Lando redeems himself, so that's a good point for minorities. And I think that Return of the Jedi...
What?
It's a huge thing because
I'm writing that down not for a point, but just to remember that you said that.
Yeah, everybody had wondered for 3 years. It wasn't is Darth Vader actually Luke Skywalker's father? It's hey, is this Lando guy going to be good or is he going to be bad? He ends up being great. He's clutch. He can speak Neem Num's language when they're in the Millennium Falcon at the end. That's a big point. Admiral Akbar must have known that. We got one of the all-time great quotes from Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. And we got to see Luke Skywalker fulfill the promise and become a Jedi Knight and redeem his father.
Are you excited for the new movies?
I cannot wait
for the
new movie. You know what? I'm not even excited for the new movie yet. I'm just excited for the trailer. I just want to see a trailer. That's all I need.
Spencer, best third movie.
Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I just wanted to see what he would do.
He went full Monday.
My actual pick is Goldfinger, which is the third James Bond movie. And no, it's not a trilogy, but you asked what the third installment.
Yes.
So it's the ultimate James Bond movie. You've got Q and the gadgets. You've got an amazing villain in Ulrich Goldfinger. I expect you to die, Mr. Bond. He's like the classic Bond villain. He has the classic odd job sidekick who is like, he doesn't even say a word, and he's amazing. So you have everything that goes into a great Bond movie. You have Sean Connery, which is necessary.
You're the man now, dog.
Yes, you're the man now. It's the first appearance of the Aston Martin with the missiles behind the headlights. It's got it actually has like a cool twist at the end when you realize he's not trying to rob Fort Knox. He's trying to irradiate it. So like it's a smarter plot than your usual James Bond fare. And it's the first time he says the martini line, shaken not stirred. When you put a James Bond movie in a time capsule, it's going to be Goldfinger.
Wow,
so if you like James Bond,
choice. Roger, best third movie.
All right, I think I'm going with the underdog here, but I absolutely believe this. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
That is the underdog.
Yes, yes. All right, so Halloween 3, Season of the Witch is when they left the Michael Myers storyline behind. It's a completely separate movie from everything. And basically the story is there's a toy maker in a toy factory who wants to play a prank on all the children of the world. And the prank is he's going to murder them with killer Halloween masks.
What a joke.
Good one.
Yeah.
You got me.
Oh,
Wonka, you.
Yeah. So they put on these masks, and then they watch this TV screen that plays this little 3 more days till Halloween, 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 3 more days till Halloween, silver shamrock, and then they die. Their faces melt.
That's like the Ring.
There's a little chip in the back of the masks that has elements.
You're talking yourself out of this one.
No. I'm talking everyone into watching this. Trust me.
Dr. Manhattan cannot save you
No, absolutely. There's a chip in the back of the masks that has the silver shamrock logo on it, but it has elements of Stonehenge in it. And Stonehenge has some strange old magic in it that interacts with these computers, and that's what causes these kids to die. And it's not just their faces melting. It causes bugs and snakes to crawl out of them, all kinds of crazy stuff.
That's like, Dan, I'd like to fact check. Is this now the nerdiest conversation ever?
Yeah, trust me.
Roger's not even mentioning the androids.
Right. I was getting to it. Thank you. So in addition to the killer mask, he doesn't trust anyone to work for him at the toy factory. So he built all these android toy men.
Now I see why you liked Interstellar.
Ouch.
I would have rather had the android toy men from the movie than that big blocky thing, but that's getting sidetracked.
All right, well, that is a very fascinating...
No, wait, I
think
gotta
we've hit
explain more.
time.
Yeah, so these androids, they're like powered by like this yellow goo and stuff, and they rip off a bum's head for basically just saying like he's gonna burn down the toy factory. So they just get there and rip off his head. They put a drill in some nurse's head.
This is all the first 5 minutes.
Yes,
too.
it's an amazing movie, and I really appreciated it because they were doing something gutsy at the time. I mean, Michael Myers was huge back then, and to actually completely abandon it and try something new, that's awesome. And what they wanted to do with this was every Halloween, they wanted to make a new Halloween movie that was a completely original story. But since the movie bombed in the theaters, which
I wonder why.
Yeah. Back then, people didn't have an open mind.
We did everything.
Ripping a bum's head off.
Back then, they didn't have an open mind about it.
They're all sitting on the board like, we did everything right.
They went back.
Had the yellow goo.
Right. They went back to the Michael Myers story after that. But I think it's a big mistake because it would have been great to see all these original Halloween movies every year rather than
Does it stay in the canon? Do they mention 3 in the other movies ever?
No. In part 3, they play a little bit of the other Halloween movie while he's got his mask
4 or 5 is 3 ever mentioned again?
No, it's like a bad weed dream. You're like, nope,
Yeah.
never
No,
happened.
Does Halloween 4 start out with Patrick Duffy in the shower and they're like, nah, none of this ever happened?
All right,
Halloween 4 is like the best, like the creepiest Halloween intro of all the Halloween movies, but we'll talk about that some other time.
All right, so Goldfinger versus Jedi.
No!
I do want to watch that now. I mean,
I am so intrigued. Like you, if you were trying to pitch why we should watch one of these movies on Netflix, everybody's seen Goldfinger
You'd
and
win
Jedi.
the Netflix argument.
But I'll also tell you this: I respect the hell out of you for backing that.
I know, right?
I
Talk about
really do.
underdog.
There's my point right there.
For you elevated it to all mad and toughness. Okay,
Yes.
but the magic of Stonehenge is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
Nope.
So you guys skipped a lot. I mean, no Prisoner of Akbar, no Toy Story 3,
yeah.
no Die Hard with a Vengeance. No Return of the King.
No Tom Atkins' amazing mustache in Halloween 3. I mean, just saying.
yeah.
My problem is I haven't seen it, so it's hard for me. You sold it for me well. But with Goldfinger and Jedi, I like he made a very good, interesting point of it. It introduced so many new things. Where Jedi, I feel
That was
like
a nice conclusion.
It wraps it up nice.
It was not the best Star Wars movie.
Not knocking it, but why was Jedi such a fantastic,
Because it's great to start something and Bond continues to keep going and going and going, and it's a really neat adventure to watch a spy who has a lot of STDs by this point continue to travel the world and fight evildoers. But Return of the Jedi did the hardest thing to do in film, which is have a nice close to a great franchise. It is so hard to put a nice bookend onto something that we all know and love. I mean, look at the prequels. They all came out. We were really excited because it's more Star Wars. Not as easy to do
Is
as
it a
might
bookend?
look. Huh?
Is it a bookend? We're continuing.
Now we get to open that book. And why is everybody excited? Because Return of the Jedi was so great. It's like Goldfinger started something great, and then we had some good movies, some bad movies, some good Bonds, some bad Bonds. But Return of the Jedi sealed the deal as Star Wars being the greatest trilogy and franchise in film history.
Spencer?
Yeah, you can still throw some darts at it. A, it's not Empire, and B, there's Ewoks in it.
Why does everybody attack the Ewoks?
You knew it was gonna come up. There's the Ewoks.
I don't understand why people hate
are
the Ewoks.
cute. They are very cute.
Why is cuteness a bad thing in movies?
It's not a bad thing. It's just kind of a cheapening of what was a otherwise amazing, serious story.
But attacking the Ewoks is an easy target. I mean, that's been done a million
it's still
times.
there, though. We can't just cover our eyes to the Ewoks.
I know.
We can't cut that out of the movie.
They're
Look,
tough little creatures fighting on their home turf. It's kind of like
With sticks
Vietnam.
and stones,
You know? It's
yeah.
like
Look.
the Empire went there and they weren't prepared for the terrain, and the Ewoks used their.
Look,
But
my point is this: the Ewoks are not as logical as Halloween 3. I'm sorry.
But let's call Ewoks for what they were. They were toys.
They were
they
really cuddly
introduced
toys.
which Kenner at the time. We need more toys, George.
Throw some
and they
Muppets in
were
there.
designed to
And they
be
were
toys.
adorable.
They were adorable, but were they really additive to the story, or were they a marketing addition? Is what I do, challenge that a little bit.
Yeah, I thought they were integral to the story because it's showing that you don't have to be this big bad evil force to win. You can be good and you can be cute and cuddly and still triumph over evil. Plus, there's the most emotional scene in any Star Wars movie is when that Ewok dies, and I guarantee you don't have anything that heart wrenching in Goldfinger.
well,
Spencer,
okay,
is a good
not that heart-wrenching true, but I think it gives kids unrealistic expectations of resisting the Empire, because that was so futile, and to think that you can fight back with sticks and stones against AT-ATs is just setting up kids for a lifetime of letdowns.
And to think that you can fight back against an evil toy maker trying to ruin Halloween and stuff. There's just no way to do that.
These are two perfect movies.
Yeah.
You can nitpick Star Wars, but you can't nitpick Goldfinger unless you just straight up don't like James Bond. I mean, these are two great movies going up against each other.
Ugh, this is tough.
Just go with Halloween 3.
Yeah, it's
much easier.
I give you respect points, not actual points for the argument.
I give you like 10 respect points.
Respect points through the roof on sticking your guns in that, but I just can't. I can't pick it over the other two. But it's a tough one to beat with those two.
You got to promise you're going to watch it.
Sure. Yes, I will give you that.
I think all of us, everyone out there,
everyone needs to watch it. Yeah.
Halloween 3, whoever
Roger,
gets residuals from that movie.
Roger, stepping back. Yes. Goldfinger versus Jedi. I'm just curious where your leanings go.
I was much more of a Star Wars fan than a James Bond fan, as much as I love Sean Connery and all. So I would lean to Star Wars on that one, just because it meant more to me.
That's where I'm at too, but I gotta give Spencer some props because I feel like you made an amazing point. The sidekick, Sean Connery's great, but the Ashton Martin, the twist, the martinis, like those things that were established.
The one that defines the series, where Star Wars is the first two.
Really actually set the tone for the remainder of the movies, and so while my gut's just saying, well, of course you go with Jedi. I gotta sort of lean to Goldfinger, but my gut can't go away from Jedi, so I'm gonna give you both points.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So is this like round one where I got a point too? No. Come on,
you
Dan.
got that bonus point. Don't forget.
Dan, fact check that.
You're only both leading Spencer by one, so it's actually still a close game.
I had just a couple of clarifications there.
Halloween 3 is awesome. Yeah, we know that.
First for Andy. Prisoner of Akabar sounds like a fun movie, but it's Prisoner of Azkaban, I believe.
It's a trap! That would be a great movie.
Spencer, this is super ticky-tacky. You said that the Ewoks were fighting AT-ATs with... they were actually fighting...
AT&T?
They were fighting AT-STs.
We're all fighting AT&T.
And Mark Ellis, with your Patrick Duffy reference, congratulations, you made the first Dallas reference on movie fights. So.
Noted.
Notice he's not correcting any of my things about Halloween 3, because that is a perfect movie, and he knows that everything is pure factual.
I could
all right, round four. Casting for the young Jean Grey and Cyclops has begun for X-Men Apocalypse. They're saying Chloe Moretz, Elle Fanning, Haley Stanfield, and a bunch of guys I actually don't know. Ben Hardy, EastEnders. Do we need a young Cyclops and Jean Grey in X-Men Apocalypse? That's our fight number four. What do you guys think? We're starting with Spencer.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, aside from the comics thing that I won't spoil, Cyclops plays a fairly big role in the fight against Apocalypse, so it makes sense to bring him back. But really, we have a whole new chance to right the wrongs of X1 through 3, and I think one of the major lacking things was Cyclops was just reduced to this one-dimensional preppy jerk. He was just a foil for like Wolverine's game on Jean Grey, and he's actually a more interesting character than that. He was like an orphan, of course he's a superhero, and he was raised by like a criminal that made him do crimes, and he he's a reluctant leader. So there's more depth to him than than you would think if you just watch X1 through 3. And then Jean Grey, like her story could fill like 7 Guardians of the Galaxies. She's going out into space. She's interacting with psychic beings. And it just gives them another chance to reintroduce us to some characters that have a lot more depth to them than you would think from the original trilogy.
Roger.
No. And I say this because I just want to see Quicksilver in the next movie, and that's it. I want 90 minutes of Quicksilver in slow motion setting up this amazing prank on everybody. I guess kind of like the toy maker in Halloween 3. But no. Literally 90 minutes of slow motion Quicksilver running around, pulling down people's pants, doing whatever the hell he's going to do.
I think you're going to see a lot of that between the Flash show and Quicksilver and Ultron. We're going to see a lot of that.
And then the last 30 minutes is when it goes back to normal speed, and we see everything fall down. 30 minutes of this insane domino effect that he just destroyed everything. That was the most entertaining thing about the last movie, that
Definitely.
Quicksilver scene. So I just want to see more of that. I don't care about Cyclops or Jean Grey in this next movie. I just want Quicksilver.
Mark.
Yeah, because I think that X-Men Days of Future Past, just not enough mutants. No, I think that you definitely need Cyclops and Jean Grey in X-Men Apocalypse, because even if you're not sticking strictly to the source material with the comic books, you're going up against Apocalypse. You need all hands on deck for this, and including the very underused Cyclops. Charlie Rose, a perfect choice to play him going forward. Haley Steinfeld, I think, is going to make the best Jean Grey going forward. She's one of the most powerful mutants. You need her brain on board when you're going up against Apocalypse. She looks like the logical former Famke Janssen. So I think that she's the perfect choice to play Jean Grey.
And I think they've already set the groundwork of introducing you to all the X-Men. Like you said, there's enough mutants in it already, but I feel like they've done the work with First Class and Days of Future Past that we all know Magneto and Mystique and Professor X and Wolverine. Like, we can introduce 2 or 3 new ones in this one.
And like, here's the thing too, is that I like X-Men First Class a lot, but I'm kind of sick of these junior varsity mutants thinking that they're real X-Men. I want to get
the
back
little
to
butterfly
the one...
wings.
Yeah, come on, man. It's like it's really cute. Just go out and recess somewhere. We are fighting Apocalypse now. We need the
we need the A-Team.
We need the ones not only from the comic books, from the cartoon in the early 90s.
Yeah, let's just get animated Storm in there.
Mark, you sold me right there at the end. You get the point.
All it takes is air guitar to win this.
That was a very good. I don't want the junior varsity either. I want the main guns. Spencer made some valid points, but I gotta pick somebody.
Fair.
All right, moving on. That was a quick one, but I think we settled that. I think we do, Roger. We do need to see them a little bit. Round 5. Starting my clock on mine. All right, so Arnold Schwarzenegger says there's potential a Running Man sequel is in the making. We also know Triplets, Twins 2 is in the making. I want to know, which sequel do we want to see Schwarzenegger do? What's our dream Schwarzenegger? Let's say those are up. We don't even know if those are getting made, but let's really fight for it. What's the ultimate dream Schwarzenegger sequel? Roger, you're leading us off.
I'm going to say Running Man. Amazing movie, and I don't think it's given as much credit as it should be. Schwarzenegger, of course, people talk about Terminator, Predator. Running Man is a fun movie. It's him thrown into this game show, basically. Right? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It predates Battle Royale and all, so already set some things for that. But the great thing about it is it also inspired Smash TV, which is one of the best arcade games.
Oh, so many quarters.
Such a fun arcade game. It inspired that, and there are incredible characters in the Running Man, because you've got like Dynamo. He's this opera singer who rides around in a dune buggy and can arc lightning and just shoot people.
So fun.
While he's singing opera. It's amazing. And you've got Jesse Ventura in it, which I'm always on board for. Him and Schwarzenegger in a movie together. And you've got these other competitors, like the guy with the chainsaw, and you've got the blowtorch dude. It's just a fun
Just a side
movie.
note, the ending to the book, it's a little too 9/11-y, so they kept it out, but he flies a jet into the TV network, giving the middle finger in the cockpit to the head of the network.
I wish they kept that in, yeah.
Mark.
Speaking of Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie together,
I
gotta see Arnold in another Predator movie before it's all said and done, because Predator, the first one, is so great with him leading this team into the jungle to fight this mysterious thing that's attacking them. It's picking his team off one by one. We could still see Arnold and Carl Weathers reunite, and I think that the Predator is such a great character that just hasn't gotten his due in a good film since Arnold was with him. I really like the Predators movie with Adrian Brody, and it's a perfect way to bring Arnold back into that world if Arnold is the next boat of survivors that gets flown down.
So basically you're saying Predator Expendables is what you want.
I really don't want all those other guys in.
I mean, I wasn't saying that in a mean way.
Yeah, I mean, like that's pretty much the precursor to Expendables. Is that helicopter scene at the beginning? But I think that Arnold.
I mean, like bringing them all back. Bring in Jesse Ventura, Carl Weathers. Bring them all back in their old age. To fight a predator.
Well, spoiler alert,
if I may, I was about to say, if Carl Weathers is going to come back, there's going to have to be some plot mechanics where he's playing his twin brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's
Arnold's the only one who can come back.
Yeah, Arnold.
They would have to have like a ghost. Like they could have like the blue force around him helping Arnold fight this predator.
Or it's just like his arm. That's it. It's just it's Carl Weathers' arm on a robot.
Maybe future predators brought them back to life, Dan.
Let me spin this scenario for you real quick too. In the Predators film, when Adrian Brody and them, they find that mysterious wrecked ship and they go in there and they see that Lawrence Fishburne has been living in there. What if instead of Lawrence Fishburne, that was Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh man, it would have been amazing.
The entire theater would have erupted. That is what you want to see, because look, I think The Running Man's great. A lot of Arnold stuff is great, but it doesn't stand the test of time as well as Predator, which is one of the greatest action movies of all time. Arnold Schwarzenegger is known for being the greatest action star of all time. Let's get these two hooked up again.
I want to talk more about this, but I gotta let Spencer chime in.
Predator does stand the test of time, and he is the greatest action star ever, but we gotta face the facts. It's 2014. He's in his mid-60s. He can't carry an action movie by himself, as we've seen with Last Stand and whatever the SWAT one was that I didn't see. Not Escape Plan. It was even Rent. Anyways.
I think it was called SWAT, right?
I think it was called Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way. Yeah. So why not go with one that's a little bit of action that you can give him, but also some comedy in True Lies 2, False Lies. So... So Arnold is grown up. So at the end of that, he and Jamie Lee Curtis are both secret agents, and it was all about having that double life. So how about this time? It's the daughter, still played by Eliza Dushku, is living a double life as a secret agent. They don't know about it. She gets kidnapped on her honeymoon, whatever, with maybe Tom Lennon, maybe Patton Oswalt as the unknowing husband, and then you got
Tom Arnold.
I'll get there. I'll get there.
movie.
They have to come out of retirement from being spies to rescue their daughter.
So you basically want Taken with Arnold
I want a funnier
Schwarzenegger.
Taken. I want a comedy Taken with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, and of course, helping them along the way, Tom Arnold. I don't think you could do a straightforward, serious action movie with Arnold at this point. It'll just be depressing.
What about Sinbad? You could throw him in there.
Yeah.
Jingle all the way.
And you have to have Bill Paxton's character return too, right?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, does anyone not want to see any of these?
I would pay money. I'd pay money to see all three of these movies, but I think the one that the fans really need to see is another Predator that's good. I mean, look, Predator 2 was pretty terrible. The coolest thing about Predator 2 is, oh look, that's the alien.
Yeah.
I think Predator. The first Predator is an awesome movie, but it's tired now. We've all seen the Predators
You know who else
a
is
million
tired?
times.
Arnold is tired.
Arnold is tired, but I would pay money to see him just embarrassed in that spandex outfit that he had to wear in
it's
The
a
Running
bad
Man.
look. He's
I wanna
shirtless half
see
the time in
old,
Predator.
I want to see old Schwarzenegger running around in that spandex with his gut hanging out and everything. I want that. Yeah.
I think it's like so many great athletes that you see over the years that they lose their fastball, but they still have one more great game in them. And I think that putting Arnold in a Predator movie is that game.
I think putting him in True
but
Lies, you're
none of
not
those-
asking that much of him. You just ask him to be funny and do some action, which you can hide with clothing.
Yeah, but none of those movies have an opera singer who gets defeated by a fire water alarm.
They killed him off
basically.
already. He's not coming
Guys,
back.
you're all talking. You're all helping each other. At the end of the day, we gotta. I called it out. At the end of the day, I gotta give us all the points because I want to see all those movies.
Yeah.
I can't fight any of those arguments because I want to see them all. And you were close. You were close to winning it all, but he is a little old. Your pitch of him being in Predators was perfect. That would have been perfect, but they didn't do it. So it's frustrating. Like it's not my fault. They didn't do it. So I don't know how you fix it now because it's like they should have done that. But anyway, points to everybody. It's another useless round, but a very fascinating conversation. I want to see those movies.
For everyone at home, that's that's round 5, right?
Yes.
We've now given out 11 points through 5 rounds.
Yeah, we all win.
Hey.
It's like AYSO.
I'm in
Yeah, no,
charge.
this is like sport. Everybody gets a sportsmanship.
Participation
Are we
award.
going out for pizza after the podcast, Mr.
All right,
Signore?
round 6. It's another fan question. Bay Nintendo on Twitter asks,
Hey,
can the CGI Peanuts movie be good? Which brings what I want to create a new reoccurring segment on movie fights, which is trailer fights. So we all watched the trailer. We all know Peanuts growing up, Snoopy, Charlie Brown. And this trailer came out. What do we think? Is it blasphemy? Do we think it's actually holding true to the Schultz brand? Let's start with Mark.
It's totally not blasphemy. It does hold true to the Schultz brand, and I think that the reason why the Peanuts movie is going to be so good is because we all loved Peanuts when we were kids, and growing up, there's other things that we loved, like the Smurfs, that they completely ruined and took away from the source material and what we all loved about them in the first place. Getting to see that, and getting to see how not to mess up something from our childhood is why the new Peanuts movie is going to be really good. It's not going to make the same pitfalls that its cartoon friends did.
No.
Spencer.
Okay, I was on board with it for like the first 15 seconds of the trailer, where you see Snoopy, the 3D animation doesn't look terrible, and then and the Vince Guaraldi theme is playing, and then it like comes to a record scratch, and they start this pop
Dance
song,
music.
like, hey, that's what I like about you. Like, it could not be further from what I loved about Peanuts, which was simplicity and a certain kind of like handcrafted quality. When we're going like through these 3D dive bombs through the Eiffel Tower, nowhere when I was watching the Peanuts, I think like this needs to be an immersive visual experience. That's what this is missing, is dog fighting. So there's that going on for it, and then really it's just like, this is also a Christmas movie, so it's going to be compared to Charlie Brown Christmas. Which is perfect. There is no need to make another Christmas Peanuts movie. I'm really sad that they're trying to go up against their own best movie.
Roger.
Also, the biggest thing to me is Schultz is not actually involved with this. That Charles,
he was.
No,
Oh, the
his
child of
name is
Schultz,
attached
Schultz
to
Jr.,
it.
yeah.
Not
Is he still alive?
no.
No.
So
It would be very difficult for him to be directly involved in
He's
this.
with Carl Weathers from Predator.
So that's
Charles
already.
Schultz passed away in the year 2000, unfortunately.
So that's already a big point against it for me.
But his family is
but-
involved, correct?
Yeah, but
The estate.
Look, what Spencer said is also true about we don't need this big technological thing. The thing that makes the Peanuts awesome is it feels like it's something like they got an entire elementary school together to just put all of their resources and just make something. You can almost hear like kids reading off of paper scripts as they're doing it. It's awkward. It's not professional voice actors doing this. It's that simplicity. It's the piano music. You don't want to hear any crazy pop beats or anything going on. You just want that simplicity throughout the whole movie, and I think that's the kind of thing that's going to be taken away with this. You don't need 3D graphics.
You don't need to be able to count the pores on Snoopy's nose as he spirals through
But
frames.
just because it's updated technology doesn't mean the kids can't gravitate towards it. I think the kids will more so today because kids today do not care about the old school animation that we grew up watching. And so if you want to enjoy the same thing that your kids are going to enjoy, Peanuts, this new one, is going to be the way to do it. Now, God forbid I ever have kids. I'd rather have them with some good, clean fun, which is what this new Peanuts is going to be, than having it, than having them watch some other cartoon.
I have more
that's
faith in
brash.
kids that if you show them old Peanuts things, they'll still love it.
I mean, there's a reason that stuff still airs on TV, and kids love it to this day.
It's
the
adults
Halloween
making their
special, the
kids
Christmas
watch
special.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, but the kids love it.
Put down that Game Boy for 2 seconds and watch the Christmas
Sit
special.
through
The
this.
kids love it. The kids absolutely love it, and that's why it continues to go on, and it will go on well past our generation and any other one.
Yeah, let us have something. Kids don't need everything.
It's interesting. I'm on the fence with this because I agree totally with what you're saying, but I thought what they did, aside from the dance music, good point. Aside from that, I thought it was updated enough where it didn't feel like it was offensive.
No,
they
it's
did
not
they did
updated.
like a kind of a cool 2D,
Dan
3D look that to me felt like, all right, you got to update a little bit for this audience. Sadly, you do, and I don't want those characters to go away. And it's a little too early to say, are they really going to throw in the dance music the whole time, or was that just the trailer to get them in the theaters?
It's a trailer fight.
So yes, fair. Dan, I'm sorry.
The Schultz family, I did look it up. His Charles Schultz's son and grandson did write the movie. So
But-
it is from...
It's from the family, but it's not Schultz
But it's not
himself.
Charles Schultz.
And naturally, the
they want to
subject.
continue to make a buck, so I'm
Right.
sure they're doing
The-
whatever they can.
The
to
subject
make it.
matter, that was just a different time when Peanuts was written and all. And, that you're going to take some of that heart out of the movie with not just the 3D, but in the writing itself, because Charles Schultz is Peanuts.
Yeah,
more
and
than-
clearly Snoopy's going to be fighting the Red Baron, like the World War I fighter ace.
Yeah, but
good luck with the kids.
I mean, that scene
explaining
looked
that
like
one.
something out of Transformers. I mean, it's moving incredibly fast, just all kinds of crazy action, and you just don't need that for Peanuts. Update the graphics if you need to. I don't think you do, but
Keep it
doesn't
grounded,
have
yeah.
to be so incredibly fast and just explosions and whatever going on.
It doesn't, but that's also what a trailer is. That's going to excite kids to go to the movie.
Yeah,
to
but
want
it's a
their
trailer
parents to go
showing
see 'em.
footage from the movie. I know that they're going to add stuff. I mean, maybe the dance music isn't in the movie, but the trailer itself.
Vince Guaraldi
Yeah.
is not around to write a new score.
Right.
Also, so
So
we're stuck with that.
it's trailer fights, right? So I think I want to give you the point because I agree. I have faith for the movie, but for a trailer, they probably shouldn't have put the dance music.
They
in.
probably shouldn't have updated the
Dance
romantic.
music.
I'm more
Oh,
upset
yeah.
about them
That's
updating
what I
the
like
romantic
about
song.
you.
than I am about
They could have had
Peanuts.
some fun, faster piano music and maybe gotten
Just
away with
remix
it.
the original theme
But
song.
Spencer
Throw
gets
some
the-
Herbie
Spencer
Hancock
gets
in
the
there.
point for calling out the music because I agree. In a trailer fight, we got to just talk about the trailer.
Yeah.
I
was gonna call that out.
That was a good point. Okay, Spencer, good job.
Yeah.
Round 7.
What if there was Stonehenge magic in the new?
Oh, I'm there. I am
It's a
watching
chip
it.
in Snoopy's head.
So another trailer
Oh,
dropped.
can you imagine like if they actually put the Halloween 3 masks on the Peanuts and
I
you see
can
their heads
imagine. Oh, God,
explode with
terrifying.
snakes and everything? That's someone out there needs to make that in tribute to
No.
You don't
Screen
need to make
Junkies
that.
and
No one
movie
needs
fights.
to put these
All
together.
right,
Make that happen.
round 7. Another trailer dropped today. Cinderella, the live-action update, which is now the new hot Disney trend, is to update all of their movies into live-action, Tim Burton-y looking big fairy tales. Although I will say that one looked a little bit more magical. It looks like they're
yeah.
sticking to the story. They showed a lot, but we know the story, so it didn't offend me. But rather than trailer fight that one, we're going to talk about something else. Which Disney movie, animated movie, should be made into a live-action film? There's a lot more to pick from, and I imagine eventually they will all be tackled at some point or another. Jungle Book's in the play, I think. Some others.
couple
but
of them.
let's start with you, Spencer. Which Disney animated film would you actually like to see a
you
live
said,
action update?
There's a lot more to pick from, but they're burning through them real fast at an alarming rate. And I think by process of elimination, the only ones left that don't have like animals in them or haven't been done already is basically like Aladdin and The Little Mermaid. And Aladdin is gonna be kind of like weird and offensive, so I'm gonna go with The Little Mermaid,
Which will also be
A
weird.
lot of
to fancy.
animals in that. How do you
Yeah.
make a cute, real-looking crab?
they did it with Babe. They'll do it with this. I think that what you do is the best two roles in Disney animation could be Ariel and Ursula, and that's an amazing chance to cast a really hot 18-year-old Ariel instead of 15 or 16 as she was in the movie. And Ursula could just be the role of a lifetime for any big actor actress. So I'm excited about that. And I think that there actually is more to the story that they can go into because it's based on Hans Christian Andersen's source material, where there's a lot more going on. It's a little darker, but it's also a little more interesting. There's more interaction with their sisters. There's more to play with than just a remake of Cinderella. So I would see The Little Mermaid.
Interesting. Roger.
I would go with WALL-E. I want to see real robots. And I was at Kamikaze shooting a video the other week, and there was a guy who built a genuine WALL-E. It had all the sounds, it worked perfectly, and I could totally see that in a movie. And I mean, we haven't had anything like that since Short Circuit.
I was going to say, they made that movie. It's called Short Circuit.
Yeah, no, I want Short Circuit to come back.
Didn't they make that movie and it was called WALL-E? I mean, didn't it look pretty damn close already? Like, you wanted to shot for shot?
What do you gain?
That was animated. I want to see
Pixar
WALL-E
looks real to me, and it's particularly, I mean, even Fred Willard, Fred Willard, the actor who played the president, plays himself live action in the movie. So I'm just confused. Like, what's the translation going to look like?
A real robot, a cheap Johnny Five looking robot.
But I mean, he looked like he looked
right
like
here.
a real robot.
Right here. That's what I want to see.
Ariel doesn't look real.
Yeah.
WALL-E looked real, and it's so current. I'm just trying to understand your vision of what's the live action WALL-E actually.
No.
Does it deteriorate from the script? I mean,
No, I just want a live action version of WALL-E instead of with these weird blobby cartoony people interacting with real people.
I think when you have a
and
Disney
I can tell
movie,
you don't like that.
Well, no, I think it felt real to me already. I
think it felt real.
Would you shoot it shot for shot like Psycho and just do it?
The first 30 minutes are just going to be like a weird robot rumbling around a junkyard.
Yes, and I want to watch it.
A cockroach.
I want to watch it.
To be
Yeah.
CGI,
it's so much weirder
which
when
is
a
already
real robot
CGI.
watches shows.
Listen, it'll be better than BattleBots, okay? That's all I want.
Nothing will be better than BattleBots.
Mark.
I think if you want to make a Disney live action movie, you want to capture that Disney magic, the classic feel, and I think Pinocchio is the way to go with that, because you got this guy, he obviously can't find a suitable mate, so he builds his own
Ultron.
son. Yeah. But there's a way to do that where as he's becoming a real boy, you learn all these lessons about what it is to become a real human being and be a real man. And I think that you can really have fun with the whale scene when they're all stuck inside the whale. That's going to be a fun action piece when they make him sneeze to shoot him out of the whale's mouth. And when they go to that creepy island and you see the Lost Boys and they're turning into donkeys, that's going to really, really scare kids into doing the right thing and don't smoke
That's the important
cigarettes.
thing. Yeah.
So I love
didn't
it.
they did
that
two,
right?
They-
Jonathan Taylor Thomas did
Yeah,
one way
They've
back.
attempted, and Roberto Benigni was in one where he played Geppetto.
Uh-huh.
And
How is yours different?
It's good. Is the big difference. And there were talks last year about how Robert Downey Jr. was interested in this project if Ben Stiller directed it. And I don't hate that team being involved with something like this. I think that it could be...
Downey would be Geppetto.
Yeah, and then and look, and it'd be a really neat thing to see the actual live action with the CGI have the nose growing. When
We
you
can
tell
watch
them
that
lies.
right now. We can
Look,
go watch
we can go put on Roxanne with Steve Martin. That's your Pinocchio right there. So no one's seen that movie clearly.
Dan, any
Yeah.
corrections?
Fun fact about that, actually Roberto Benigni played Pinocchio, which made it even creepier, and that version of Pinocchio came out in 2002, is one of the rare movies out there that has a whopping 0%
So we can only
tomato meter.
improve.
We can only
rating.
go
Wow.
up.
You can literally
They've hit
not
rock
do any
bottom.
worse than that movie.
Yeah, see, and look, I mean, I think my
good
problem
idea.
with the WALL-E movie is that the coolest thing about WALL-E was seeing how fat humans got, and it's hard to do that live action without.
I think it's pretty easy to do that.
It's just offensive if you put
go to
Melissa
Walmart.
McCarthy in that chair. It just feels offensive to me.
It's gonna feel really weird
Yeah.
to see them. I think it's gonna feel weirder to see that than it is to see a live boy turn from a puppet.
Well, I don't mean to throw you wrong. I don't. It felt live action already. I mean, I know it wasn't, but Pixar's so good now that it's like, you can't make Finding Nemo with real fish. You'd have to CGI.
There's no CGI that exists.
You have to CGI the cockroach.
Yeah, but listen. There's no CGI that exists, and no, you don't. They have robot cockroaches in movies and stuff. They can totally do that. Isn't that what they did with like Joe's Apartment? A lot of those cockroaches.
Oh yeah, that
the
classic.
stop motion animations. Yeah, there you go. No, but there's no CGI that exists that is as any better than a tangible object and stuff.
I just don't.
People
You're going to
interacting
see the
with
same
that.
thing, and it's going to be way more expensive to make it. Where I feel like Pixar did it so well, I don't need to see that. Pinocchio and Little Mermaid is where I'm debating between. How do you make the fish and the crab cute? Are they cartoony looking?
Yeah, I think that you do have to make a very big delineation between what it looks like under the sea and what it looks like on the surface. That the sea can be a mix of CGI. You have to, because there's seahorses pulling people around and stuff like that. So
But a real life crab does not look cute.
No.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
A real life crab? Have you seen fiddler crabs?
They can be adorable.
Do they
They're
talk? Do
adorable.
they talk underwater? Can they? How do you live action make them talk underwater without like,
You
being
put
like
them in the same way they did with Gravity, where I don't know how they did with Gravity, but the same way they did with Gravity is you have the hair floating around in 0G, and you film it that way. I trust that they can pull it off technically, and it's just more fun to have, like you said, Melissa McCarthy or Adele or Susan, American Idol winner, as Ursula. Just
Is it a musical?
Susan Boyle is Ursula.
Yeah, Susan Boyle is
You
Ursula.
use the same songs.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's the problem though: is that live action, when that priest gets an erection at the end of the movie, it's going to be really.
They can do that
off-putting.
for real. So maybe you spend more time on the surface, but I think that has the best chance of being.
Do
a
you
good
still
movie.
hide a penis in the poster?
Oh, of course, it's Disney.
Okay.
Yeah. Penis
So it's
everywhere.
stuck because I feel like I've seen the Pinocchio remake. Tell me again, quickly, I have to wrap this up. Why is it different than the other two?
Because when you saw the Cinderella trailer, you got that feeling of Disney magic live action. You can do the same thing with Pinocchio, whereas the Little Mermaid, I think it just gets too clunky because they have to talk underwater. It's an underwater kingdom, and when you try to talk to your friend underwater, it becomes a comedy of errors. It's like the fight scene in Top Secret in the corral under the ocean. There's nowhere to go, and so you have to have all the action above the surface. And if it's above the surface, sorry,
Suspension
that
of
mermaid
disbelief.
is going to get harpooned.
It's Splash.
I don't
okay?
want to see any.
There you go.
I like the Schwarzenegger one. I don't want to see any of these movies. Am I allowed to not give a point, Dan?
You're the judge. Why are you
you,
asking
man.
me?
Sure. You've given
I
away
don't-
so many.
I don't think I want to give a point on that round because I don't want to encourage any of those.
Well,
terrible
what's your
movies.
answer, Judge? Judge
Yeah.
Judy over here?
I didn't prepare.
Okay.
Let's just all
Halloween.
go see
It's a wash.
Halloween 3.
Halloween
So
3,
you're
yeah,
all
musical.
non-winners. Congratulations.
Wow.
First boo. I'll take it.
Deserve it.
Dan, how about you? Do you have one that you would pick?
Oh man.
Any 9 of the Jungle
That
Book
was a
movies
tough
that are
one.
coming
Yeah,
out.
we got a bunch of Jungle Book movies. I don't know. I mean, they're all like fairy tales and stuff. It seems like they've all been done.
Yeah, we don't need
We
any
don't
of
need
these.
any of them.
That
So I'm
Cinderella
sorry. I
trailer did
overruled
impress
with a
me,
dumb
though.
question because we don't need any of them. That's my fault. I take the blame.
Yeah, that's tough.
Haters.
Point from Andy.
Round 8, final round. Let's zoom through this. We're way past our deadline. Hopefully the people next door don't mind. We're taking another minute. Here we go. Round 8. This is, again, the tease for this week's Honest Trailer. So you did hear it if you're actually watching the show. I will tease that next week's trailer is British, romantic, and a Christmas movie with an epic ensemble cast.
Well, British and romance, I'm on board.
So
Yeah,
hopefully with those clues, there should only be one movie.
It's pretty lovely, actually.
So we're going to take the ensemble cast theme and say, what is the best movie with an ensemble cast? And we got to breeze through this because we're running out of time. Start with you, Roger, quickly.
True Romance is the ultimate ensemble cast. I just don't see how you can have a better ensemble cast with a good movie. Like, it's an excellent movie, and that's a rare thing with ensemble casts as far as I'm concerned.
So good.
You have Christopher Walken and Dennis Hopper in one of the most memorable scenes ever. You have Patricia Arquette. You have Christian Slater. You have Gary Oldman as Drexel the Pimp.
The Pimp.
Who's incredible. I mean, he's like a chameleon, of course. You also have Balky from Perfect
Wow,
Strangers.
yes. They're like doing coke, right?
Bronson
Bronson
Pinchot.
Pinchot, yeah.
I didn't
So-
factor in Balky.
Right, yeah, exactly. So you have that.
Excellent choice.
You have James Gandolfini
Yep.
before James Gandolfini was big.
When he
in
was
it.
actually
And-
threatening, yeah.
Right.
That was awesome.
It's just
Very good choice.
Absolutely
You
amazing
sold me.
cast.
Mark.
Yeah.
I'm going with JFK because Oliver Stone made a masterpiece, and it not only is Kevin Costner great as Jim Garrison in the lead, his entire family, Sissy Spacek, is in it. Gary Oldman plays Lee Harvey Oswald and does such a creepy rendition of
Gary
that
Oldman
character.
is the man.
And there's so many. They're not even cameos. They're really parts that are integral to the story that Oliver Stone is trying to tell. Tommy Lee Jones, Joe Pesci, Walter Matthau, and Jack Lemmon and John Candy are in these roles where they're not comedic. It's taking these incredible actors and giving them something else to do it's outside of their wheelhouse, and it all combined to make one of the most incredible films and really thought-provoking movies that I've ever seen. And the piece de resistance, Donald Sutherland on the park bench telling Jim Garrison what a black op is and how the JFK assassination was a black op. Donald Sutherland can convince me of anything. He could have told me that Kennedy was shot by Stonehenge magic in Halloween 3, and I'd be like, well, I guess that's how the government did it.
was a chip.
It's a moving film to watch, and it would not be that way without all of these incredible performances that Oliver Stone got.
Spencer.
I'm gonna pick X-Men: Days of Future Past, even though I like both of the movies you guys mentioned better. I think it just beats you down with sheer numbers. I mean, there are so many people, so many famous people in this movie that you have like pretty cool actors like J-Law and Hugh Jackman and Anna Paquin and James McAvoy and Halle Berry, and then you get, but wait, I know you're already exasperated, but then you get to even better people like Fassbender, and then you throw in Dinklage, and then you throw in Patrick Stewart, and then you throw in Ian McKellen. So it just really crosses the whole span of acting today. You have your legends, you have your up-and-comers, and you have your people in between.
Well, as I just think I think that both movies have great casts, but I just don't think anything holds up to True Romance as far as being an incredible movie and great casting, and has so many memorable lines in True Romance. I mean, you can just pick anything like Christopher Walken. You get me in a vendetta kind of mood. You know, it's just amazing.
Or that whole scene with Walken in a
right?
hopper.
Oh, absolutely.
My God.
I mean, that whole thing. It's just perfection. And I think in terms of cast and movie, you just cannot get better.
Brad Pitt on the couch.
Oh,
right.
Brad Pitt's best role easily.
Safari Motel Inn. Yeah, it's classic.
True Romance is a great film. I just think I think the bigger achievement was taking something that actually happened and putting all these famous people into it, and not having it be like, oh, there's another famous person, but having all these people really seep into their characters for the brief time they were on screen, as opposed to being like, oh, I recognize that guy and that guy.
See, I felt a little bit of that though in JFK, where I feel like it was Oliver Stone just putting his friends in and doing it, whereas in True Romance, they really do. Like,
they
Brad
are
Pitt on the couch is just
right.
like it's just so worked, and you wouldn't think it was. Granted, he wasn't Brad Pitt.
You didn't know
at
who
the
Brad
time.
Pitt was.
I
Yeah.
get it.
Or
But
James
even now, if you
Gandolfini.
watch it, I feel like you still wouldn't know it's Brad Pitt.
And Bronson
he's
is
so
like
seamless.
this weenie little coked out Hollywood douche. I mean, it's perfect.
They're all good choices.
True Romance is the best movie.
But I gotta say, True Romance really does kill it. Very good choice. You both made good choices, but I can't knock.
Bronson Pinchot was in JFK, and, and that's a flaw of the movie.
Yeah. That's a flaw in Halloween 3, actually.
The chick in the armor.
Anything to correct me, or are we
no,
good?
that was a good round.
Roger, you did it, and you tied with Mark there at the end. But Spencer eked out again by an extra point. 5 points to 4 and 4. All
right,
I didn't try it. Spencer's won it. I didn't mean it.
Nick Mundy was right. I think you're leaning
right.
towards him. Yep.
I know.
Hey, want to pull our points together?
Yeah, you know what? We together.
We're doing it again. We're doing it again. We win.
Spencer. You know what? Spencer took the devil's advocate, so not only does he get the win, he also gets the DVD combo.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I'm watching
Found
both
it.
on repeat. Thank you, guys.
All right,
This is a
guys,
true
we're out
honor.
of time, annoyingly, but thank you so much. This was a fun one. Really good debates. What did you guys think of the show? Where were we wrong? Where was I wrong? Tell us in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube. More importantly, always tell us what movie fight you want to hear. Hashtag it at any of our Twitters. Hashtag movie fights, plural, so we can find it, and we will look, and we always look each week to find your suggestions. Really quickly, I want to make sure you also go check us out on iTunes. Please go subscribe, comment. What do you do on iTunes? Rate it?
You can rate it.
Rate it.
subscribe.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All those good things.
And actually, as a schmo myself, I want to thank you guys for being such a great show on our network now, part of the Popcorn Talk Nation network.
Tell us
And
about the Popcorn Talk Nation.
It's all the shows that you know from the Schmoes Know movie network, and that's the flagship brand is the Popcorn Talk Network. So you can subscribe here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to me and Christian's channel, Schmoes Know. Never pay to see a bad movie again. We loved it. It's passionate movie talk from movie fans.
I want to Screen Junkies. You have to go do that. I'm telling you to go do it. Go to the Schmoes Know channel and tell them we sent you. And obviously also go to the Popcorn Talk. It's youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network.
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yeah.
Please go there as well. Lots of fun podcasts you guys are doing. What movie talk? I know I have the list, but you know them even more. Anatomy of the Movie, Jedi Alliance, Marvel movie news. You have so many good shows.
DC movie news show, Meet the Movie Press, Jedi Alliance, Guilty
Guys.
Movie Pleasures, and then the Schmoes Know movie show every Thursday night.
Guys,
There
you gotta
go.
go check them out. So go support so we can keep doing this and show them your love. I want to thank our panelists as well. Spencer Gilbert at Spencer J Gilbert on Twitter. Anything else you'd like to send or to plug?
Devil's Advocate on DVD.
Roger Barr at I-Mockery on Twitter. Anything else you'd like to mention?
Yeah, it's I-M-O-C-K-E-R-Y on Twitter, and I'm also on YouTube, youtube.com/Roger Barr, and I don't have a copy of Halloween 3, but you all need to watch it, okay?
Please, that's
everyone,
another task.
watch this movie.
Mark
Yeah.
Ellis, 5150 at Ellis. What do you got? Schmoes Know. Please check him out on YouTube.
Yeah,
What else?
Schmoes Know, check it out, and bring some of that Stonehenge magic to the Cleveland Hilarities after Thanksgiving, Friday through Sunday. I'll be there if you're in the Ohio area.
watching.
And I gotta thank hashtag DanCam.
Hashtag DamCam. DamCam.
Dan with an N.
Damn.
Cam.
Nope. Damn Cam.
Dan, anything you'd like to plug?
Florida State University.
I feel like I'm on the Howard Stern wrap-up show right now.
And rest in peace, Mike Nichols.
Did I plug Halloween 3?
Yes, you did. Rest in peace.
Dan, who shot Kennedy? Can you look that up real quick before we go?
Thank you guys so much. We will see you next week. As always, please keep staying tuned and tell us what you want to see. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Every podcast we put on YouTube comes with this kick-ass graphic listing all the topics your favorite Screen Junkies podcasters are talking about. If you click the topics, you can skip around and choose your own podcast battle royale. Go ahead, try them all. If you haven't already, subscribe to Screen Junkies on YouTube to join us for future fights. Or if you prefer to listen on iTunes, click the logo to download an audio version. Lastly, please support our friends at the Popcorn Talk Network for more awesome shows.